How's it going, everybody? I had a couple of killer games at today's stream. In case you missed it, so sad. It's probably going to be one of the only times I get to stream this week. Possibly next week as well. But I got a couple of good games from it. Also got a really short roulette against NBZ. But that one's for... I'm probably going to save that one for a rainy day. It was a really short one, but it was a fun one nonetheless. So I figured, hey, you know what? We'll pull something else from the stream. And I just brought a weird assortment of stuff. It's okay. My opponent did too. Y'all know how I roll. I can feel the need to bring a Charizard and a Regigigas on the same team because that's how we do around here. So he's going to go ahead and lead off with his Miltank, you know, Stealth Rocker, that whole thing. I'm going to go ahead and lead off with Zapdos because if I get Body Slammed, I can't get paralyzed, and if I get T-Waved, I can't get paralyzed. I can't get paralyzed in general, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just going to go ahead and Volt Switch out of there, fearing that thing to, I don't know, I definitely could have just gone for a T-Bolt. I think he ends up going for a Body Slam, though, and I bring in my Gallion. That's fine. It actually kind of looks like a 2-hit KO-ish, depending on rolls, which is definitely not okay, but predicting him to be scared out by this, I'm actually going to go ahead and go for the Swords Dance. I am a Swords Dance Lum set, so if Tangrowth wants to come in and Sleep Powder, I have no problems with staying in and just letting it do whatever the hell it wants to do. So I end up going for a Zen Headbutt here because I don't want the defense drops that come with close combat, and it turns out I get a flinch. I wasn't actually going for that on purpose. I was fishing for it during some other streams, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna 2-hit KO this thing anyways, so I'm just gonna go for Zen Headbutt. I might as well, and then I can switch it up to close combat next turn if he wants to switch out accordingly. So he switches out to Vaporeon expecting it to take it better, and I almost just flatten it with close combat. It takes two of them, which is okay. I went for the second one just so that way I wouldn't miss with Zen Headbutt, and that way he wouldn't be able to go for the Wish or the Scald or anything of the sort. Once it's that low on health, you don't let an evolution stay that low on health. You have to kill it. You have to kill it. You have to kill it. It's going to Wish. Speaking of the devil, though, we do have my Vaporeon. Vaporeon, what the hell? This is not a Vaporeon. It's blue like one, but it's not. This is my physically defensive Umbreon. He's a pal, and he takes hits reasonably well. He's also got Foul Play, Wish Protect, and I think he's got Heal Bell, possibly. I'm a big fan of this Umbreon and the way it works because it can take the physical hits. The worse it hurts, the worse it can hurt, which is something I'm always a big fan of. And it doesn't have a terrible defense stat at all. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and go for another Foul Play as the Gardevoir switches in. I know Gardevoir is not fantastic on its physical attacking stat, but it's not great on the defensive side either. So even if I'm hitting it, damage is damage. It is a neutral hit because it's Psychic Fairy. But I'm not going to want to stay in at all. This thing can flatten me with the Moonblast if it absolutely wants to. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out into Assault Vest Regigigas. My initial thought process for this guy was I'm just going to go ahead and get screens up and see if I can outlast the 5 turns by having an Assault Vest and Drain Punch and some other stuff. Because if you can last 5 turns, it's not bad. And as you can see, Hyper Voice from a Mega Gardevoir is not really doing that much. And on top of that, miss the Focus Blast, and I end up going for a turn. It doesn't knock it out. I do still have the slow start going. But look at that. I'm actually able to take a Hyper Voice and a Focus Blast and just take him out with a knockoff. I just went for the knockoff on the off chance he'd want to switch. You know, maybe I don't know how we'd end up recovering this thing or not, but I recognize Salamence is in here. I really do not want to let it get a free hit, so I went for the, I think I had Ice Punch on that. I think I went for Ice Punch on the off chance that he wanted to start boosting in my face. So he ends up just taking me out. That's just fine. I remembered super last minute that this Salamence actually happens to have Power Ice. The person I asked to salve/import it for me at the time, I was like, I need grass, and they were like, oops, I left it as ice, and I was like, oh, that's fine. And I've had a couple of games where I just haven't won because what I thought was grass was actually ice, and this one, I remembered it, and you know what? It took out that big threat Salamence, and I'm definitely okay with that. That's more than I could have asked for. I'll figure out a different way to deal with Tangrowth. Tangrowth is naturally going to be scared out by Charizard in any way, shape, or form, but this is not actually your regular Wizard. This is the special defensive Charizard set that Joey posted on his channel a little while back, and let me tell you, Joey, I have a friend of mine that swears like his life by this thing. You know, day and night, I'll be like, hey, is this worth the Mega Slot on your team? Yes, it is. I didn't really use it properly in this game, but hey, getting the Will-O-Wisp buff on a Crobat, that's actually really fun. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out, decide to go into my Umbreon because I can scare it off with Foul Plays. More importantly, I can actually Wish back up. And the U-turn, if he wants to go for it, although it's super effective, just really won't do that much either, so I'm really not that scared of it. He's going to go ahead and bring in his Miltank again. I'm not scared of Body Slam or anything of the sort because if he paralyzes me, I paralyze him. He'll probably want to take a turn heal belling somewhere along the way, and more importantly, he can't take me out unless he's got Hammer Arm, which these things don't really run that often, if at all. I think they might get Superpower too, but that's the main thing he can use to take me out. So, I'm not stressing about it. The one thing that I did find kind of weird was that he ran T-Wave and Body Slam. Personal preference, I'd definitely run one or the other, and then Heal Bell, he's probably got Stealth Rock, T-Wave, Body Slam, Milk Drink. Yeah, Heal Bell is definitely nice on there. I definitely would be running Body Slam instead, though, but that's just me. So, go for Foul Play. Really doesn't do as much as I thought I would. Probably just because this Miltank is just, like, super defensively invested. And doesn't have any attack investment as well. So, he gets fully paralyzed on this one. He actually gets fully paralyzed, I think, 3 times in a row. Really shitty, really important to this series of plays. I was like, okay, you know what? It's going to happen somewhere along the lines. I believe I actually switch into my Gallade, expecting to just take the Body Slam just based on the roll from earlier. If he got a low roll, I'd be able to live it. But I successfully Wish Pass off to Buff Gumby, which is something I figured I'd never be able to say that often, both the Wish Passing and the Buff Gumby part. But I'm going to SD right in his face because I'm actually not scared of getting paralyzed. Oh, you know, he does have Heal Bell. I guess he doesn't have Stealth Rock or Milk Drink, one of the two. I don't remember. He gets rid of his pair and he gets rid of Crobat's Burn, which actually is going to be a little bit annoying because he's probably not going to let me catch it on the switch again. I go for a Zen Headbutt right here, actually expecting Crobat to come back in because, hey, a ×4 resistance to close combat and the ability to scare me out right away. I better just go for it. So, right there, don't get the flinch on the Zen Headbutt, and he doesn't get the paralysis off on he doesn't get the full para, is what I'm saying. And I just take him out with another Zen Headbutt. It was too risky to switch up moves because although I could have missed with Zen Headbutt, I didn't want to let this Crobat get in for free, essentially, just by me picking the wrong move. So I'll let it get in for free when it's able and allowed to in that kind of situation. So his U-turn's going to hurt a little bit more, but because I was able to wish back up to full, I'm not actually stressing about it, especially because it only does around 20%. And my Foul Play will definitely be, I'm pretty sure it's a 2 or 3 hit KO. It's really close to a 2, I think, depending on the roll. And on top of that, I believe this Tangrowth actually happens to be Assault Vest as well, which is why I realized it like right in the middle of the game, and I was like, wow, you know what? I haven't been Sleep Powdered at all. I feel like he definitely could have done that by now. Which is why I try to burn it, because his Heal Beller's gone. So if I can burn it, I can just make it setup fodder. So I go for a Willow here. I miss on the first one, which is really unfortunate, because it means I could have just roosted off the next Earthquake, and basically just roost all this until he switched, or something of the sort. The only thing I really have is Dragon Claw, so we'd have to be in range for a Dragon Claw to kill it. I have Earthquake and Dragon Claw on it. So similar to Garchomp's coverage, which never really was too terrible. Just Togekiss the thing now. So Gallade gonna come back in, and I figure, you know what? I'll just go for another Swords Dance because fuck it. What's the worst thing this Tangrowth is gonna do? It's not gonna Sleep Powder. It's not gonna Leech Seed. Two of the things I was really worried about. The worst thing a burned Tangrowth can do to a Gallade is maybe Power Whip. I don't know, but I'm really sick of this Crobat not having any damage on it, period, so I actually just straight up sat Gallade just for the sake of getting some recoil damage and some Shadow Sneak damage. Puts it at around, kind of want to say 30%, 35%, I think that's fair to say. And I think I'm just going to go for Foul Plays repeatedly until he wants to switch out or something of the sort. So, heals for Roost. That's absolutely fine by me because the turns that he spends just roost-stalling like this, I'm getting back leftovers HP, and his U-turn wasn't doing that much in the first place. So right there, you can see that Foul Play did around, I kind of want to say 40, 45%. You know, crit range is definitely possible, but there's no disputing the fact that he is gaining back a little bit of HP every time he roosts. It's a pretty reasonable chunk. But honestly, I don't fear this at all because I have Heal Bell. So anytime I need to get rid of my paralysis, I will. But I prefer to do it on a turn where he feels comfortable attacking me, as opposed to roosting, because I don't want to get him. I don't want to give him the leg up on the HP again. So he turns out right now, and look at that. Like that's still only doing like 50 damage. Like that's like 25 to like 30%. So not a problem at all. Tangrowth is at full HP, but a couple of Foul Plays is honestly just going to take care of this thing. Because it's I don't really think it's offensively invested. but he's not a special attacker, so you can go ahead and assume that this is actually doing a pretty good amount of damage. Knocks off my lefties here. Whatever. Don't really mind. I have Wish Protect, and I'm just going to go for another foul play right there. And I think he possibly might have had the option to switch out there, but he just decided to sack it so his Crobat doesn't take unnecessary damage. And we just see another foul play from Umbreon to take it out. So at this point, it's literally how many more foul plays do I have than he has roosts? I've got plenty. I think he also realizes at this point that I'm just going to stay in. I'm dead set on going for foul play until it dies. So I also go for a Wish right here just to ensure that I'll be at a good range of HP. And I believe he scoops right now because it's just going to be a very uphill battle. As for how I probably could have played out Crobat, I do still have Charizard that is definitely able to take a shit ton of recoil damage, or give Crobat a bunch of recoil damage on a safe switch and burn it. And then I can just go into Gengar from there. I don't remember which Gengar I had, but a burn Crobat against a Gengar is generally a pretty favorable matchup in my book. So a little bit of a longer game. I hope you guys enjoyed it, though. If you did, you're definitely free to leave a like rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing. That should do it for me out of today. I got a bunch of games to record. They were all fun, and you'll be seeing most of them, if not all of them, pretty soon. So with that in mind, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.